I'm saying we're quantifying over it, given the fact that there's a large
Why are we doing
convergence
that?
of mathematical Platonism. So we can invoke a Quantian view
And now,
of
and
existential
now you're just
quantifications and embed that within the quantifier within P1.
views out of like,
What's with the gibberition?
a rabbit, like a magician hat or something. Like, okay,
What's
okay,
the
that's
views?
I'm fine that like you can just gibberate.
Okay, I just answered the question.
I'm fine
Okay,
that you can gibberate for me, but like I just want
what's
you
the
to just answer the
gibberation?
question for me.
What's the gibberish? I already answered the question. Can you?
And
state
now,
what I just
you're
answered
asking
to
me
you?
follow-up questions. Okay, just let's actually try to be more
Yeah.
lenient, right?
Well, obviously, presumably, you're gonna ask people follow-up
when I
questions
asked
if they
you,
understood what you said.
why
So
are
what
we
was the
quantifying
gibberation?
over prior
Yo,
probabilities,
Moxie,
right?
are you special needs? Are you special
I
needs? I can
think
hold your
that
hand,
it's
but I'm not going to be a
pretty
special needs
clear,
teacher,
right,
okay?
what I'm asking
Like,
you.
you can
Why?
only have
What is
one
the
teacher in your class. I'm not going to be the
give you why
additional
we should do
special
that,
needs
right?
teacher.
And you're
Yeah,
not
I just
doing
gave
it at
you the
all.
explanation.
What you think?
I
What you've
just
done
gave
so
you
far
no, I
is
just did. I
ask
said
me, what do
presumably,
you mean
given the
by
fact there's a large
quantification?
conversion in favor of
Do you know
mathematical
X, Y, and
Platonism,
Z?
I can embed the
Let's
quantifier being
actually have a
discussed within
conversation about
P1 in
mathematical
terms of
Platonism.
Quine's view,
All that,
right?
like,
And the
that
Quine's
is
views is
not
on
answering the
existential
question. That's just you
quantifications.
running away.
It is. It's
No,
how
it's
we
not.
use
You
the
can tell yourself
quantification
that all
embedded
the
within
time, and
P1.
it's not. So,
Okay,
look,
what's
I
going to be the
think
response to
that
the
we were
argument?
really clear what's
Okay,
happening
what's going to be
here.
the response to the
I don't think
argument?
you responded.
What's going to be the response to the argument?
Respond. What you did respond though
Yeah,
is to
what's going to be the
questions,
response to the
to
argument?
questions that no one asked. Right? No one asked these
No,
sort of
the
questions
question
that you're
you asked me is why should we
Right, so
use or why should we quantify over prior assignments? And I answered it, right? I plugged in Quine's view on existential quantifications with mathematical Platonism, and if you knew what mathematical Platonism is, you know that prior assignments obviously talks about mathematics. You dumb fuck retard. This is really bad for you. This is why you lose to people like Apollo, who's pedophiles. This is why you don't read. Nobody thinks you're good within the community, and you don't know how to comprehend any arguments. So tell me what the argument I provided against you as to why we should use the quantifier over the variables discussed within P1.
And not you.
All right, this is embarrassing for you.
To whatever,
there's no spazzing out, right? You look like a low IQ and inept subhuman, right? Can you please still make the explanation I gave to you as to why we should quantify over the prior assignments?
I'll explain what's happening in this conversation. So it seems right now that what happened is that I triggered you.
It seems like it seems right now you don't know what's happening.
Why we're
you don't know what's happening.
Probabilities that instantly made you rage in this conversation really badly. And you then started out by spazzing out by asking me
why are we quantifying over probabilities,
which is not relevant to the question being asked. The question is asked, why are we quantifying over prior probabilities, not whether Moxie has an understanding or notion of what quantifiers are. Secondly, by the way, and all the people are laughing at you. You're crashing out, by the way. And people are now starting to notice that you're crashing out. It doesn't look really good. So just by saying that Moxie looks bad, well, no, you in fact look bad. People in the audience think you look bad. So now, what happened then is that
nobody's laughing at me. Like you're just confused in the conversation
in a meaningful way. You then gibberating about philosophers.
Blah blah blah. Said nobody's laughing at Quran. So that rhetorical jab really didn't hit at all. So
you brought up
when we quantify over probabilities is because it's a mathematical way to handle uncertainty.
Then you pivoted by asking.
So you shifted from the existential quantification within
what about
P1
metaphysical
to why we quantify over probabilities, which seemingly doesn't even talk about the existential quantification.
All you've done in this conversation is just gibberate to me about random terms, right? That has no bearing on what I asked you.
What was random? Wait, listen. I'm
stun locked. I'm so stun locked with Doom. Oh my god, what is happening?
I'm not stun locked. I'm not stun
locked. Yes, you are
stun
locked. So yes, don't lie to yourself.
The question you asked me is why should we quantify existentially over probability assignments? And I just plugged in the view. I plugged in Quine's view on existential quantifications, and I plugged that into mathematical Platonism. I said, given the fact there's a large conversion to mathematical Platonism, it seems like we should accept the quantification over the existential quantifier embedded within P1.
Dude, you're so lost in this conversation. As to why we should quantify over now you're going to try to overspeak me because you think it's going to be working. It's not going to work in this conversation.
Because the reason why we quantify over probabilities is because it's a mathematical way to handle uncertainty.
You're now just rambling off.
Really bad for you.
You're rambling off about things that are relevant to the conversation. I know it's not going to be
why is it not
relevant to the conversation because I've been talking about
why is
this.
It not relevant?
And it seemingly right now I asked you just a singular question that I think that you're not able to understand. What was the question I asked you? The only singular question I asked you.
We already answered it. You're like really
Again, what was
special
the
needs,
question
and I'm
I
going to hold your
asked
hand
you?
throughout the conversation
What
because you
was the
don't know what's
question that I
happening right
asked
now.
you?
Your question, your initial question you asked me, and this is on recording, by the way, is that why should we quantify existentially over probability assignments? So I plugged in
Again,
Quant's
that's
view on
not what I said.
existential
So
quantifications, which
why
you
are
said you
we
didn't know.
quantifying?
That
I
is what
said,
you said, and
why
it's on
are we
recording. That is what you said,
quantifying?
and it's on
Let's try
recording.
this again.
So
I
I'm just
said,
going to repeat
why are
myself
we
because you cannot
quantifying
let me
over
talk
prior
because you get afraid every time I talk
probability?
because
That's
your
what
little
I asked
panties
you.
is in like shambles right now. Okay,
Now,
you asked me
I
why should we
think that no
existentially
one's
quantify over
afraid of you.
probability
Let's
assignments?
just be
And I
very
said because
clear.
there's a
People
large
are
conversion to
laughing at
mathematical
you.
Platonism,
I agree
which is
that your
relevant to
goons
P1
would
because
probably
we're talking about the
they would
numerical
think that you're
assignments.
winning,
And I
but
plugged in the
keep in mind,
quant theory,
you're
which is a
observing
realistic
things,
picture
right?
of
So
how we treat
we're
these
talking to
existential.
people, right? We're talking. You and I. We're speaking. Right now, what's happening here is
Hold
that you're
on,
not
bro.
zenned out. You're crashing out.
Yo, he gotta stop yelling, bro. What are you yelling over nothing?
It's really embarrassing. I don't know.
What
Look,
are you
I think I
even
also was
yelling
recording
over?
this. This guy was obviously spazzing out. I don't know. People in the comments thought that way. Yeah. But yeah, let's just get that on a recording.
Okay.
Look, people thought, okay, you're like, for the person who, kind of is like looking and kind of like, kind of engaging in the debate, did you think that that guy was doing well, or do you think that he was answering a question? Either or. For the host.
What happened?
Do you think that that guy was answering my question or looked good?
No, I don't know what you're talking about. He didn't look good though. He was being annoying.
Yeah, that's what I suspected, right? Like people even in the conversation thinking that it doesn't look good in the conversation. Yeah, that's what I guessed.
Who else want to come up? Sosa, come up.
Yeah, what was your question? Because I'm pretty sure he answered it.
The question was, why are we quantifying over prior probability? What was the response?
He said that, what do you say? He said, I think it was because they're numerical content. That's why.
That's not what he said. He said, what happened was that he said, Moxie, do you know what quantification is? Moxie then, hey, what about philosophers like Quine and Cardinap? Their response was, Moxie, are you familiar with metaphysical Platonism? That was his response. Nothing to do with the answering the question at all. Never about numerical contact, right? Though he did say numerical assignments. Is that what you meant?
Yeah, but that's
that's not what you meant. In fact, because I told you what he said, and numerical content. I don't know what that means. Content or contact. I don't know. But nonetheless, again,
no, numerical content.
Look, I think it's pretty obvious that even the audience didn't understand what he said. More or less think that he even answered the question. This is just so sad. But yeah, man. I mean, really great debate. Really informative one.
I don't know, man.
You're telling me the person who isn't able to articulate what he said, and you supposedly think he answered the question. You're telling me that
Nah, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure he answered the question because I remember him saying.
Really? Okay.
He said why.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, he was saying. Yeah, he was saying why we quantify over probability assignments. I heard him saying why multiple times. Well, first he established why we quantify in general, right? Because he was referring to uncertainty, how it comes in degrees, right? Not binaries. And then he was talking about quantifying probability.
Now
and
you're
how
just
it's
reading off of like
coherently.
This is so sad. Come on, look. Originally you came up here and said, I think it's their numerical content. That's why. Contact.
Yeah.
That's not bearing on what's being said in this conversation.
Not contact. We're talking about numerical content.
Content?
Yeah, the numerical content.
Okay, now I'm curious. What does numerical content have to do with answering the first question?
Because you're talking about probability assignments.
So tell me general. Okay, explain to me in baby terms. Why was that even an answer?
What numerical content? Why that would be even an answer?
Even an answer, yes.
Because that's how we treat probability assignments existentially. We treat them by their numerical content.
Yeah. Which numerical content?
I mean, I guess it would just be Well, the numerical content inside doesn't matter.
Yes, it does matter. If you're asking me about more specifically the first premise he laid forward, yes, I think it would definitely matter.
But no, you're asking why we quantify them in the first place.
So just, I agree. I'm asking that, but pertaining to the things he's saying.
Yeah.
So yes, it would definitely matter.
No, it wouldn't, because you're asking why we quantify them in general.
Now you're just like telling me like what happened in this conversation, like like dog, come on, like you weren't able to track what he said originally, and now suspiciously you have this confidence in thinking that, well, actually no, he should have said X or Y. No, what are you on about?
Dude, why are you trying to be rhetoric?
No one's. Like, we're not even debating. Stop. Okay, that word ruined debating servers. That word ruined debating servers in people's minds.
I don't care for the context. That's how they ruin debating servers. It's not.
Just try to be a little.
This isn't even a debate. We're clarifying the prior conversation.
Stop. You're eating your mic. You're eating your mic, by the way. Yes, you're eating my mic.
I'm nowhere near my mic.
Yes, you are.
Yeah, because my mic is low. I'm eating my mic. It's going to be the argument for how.
You're a little too loud.
Okay, then tell me to calm down. Tell me to lower my mic volume rather than saying you're eating your mic. You're just being rhetorical for no reason.
No, it's up to you, right? I'm not a babysitter that I have to tell you, hey, how to have good manners or something. That's not.
Well, if you want to have a good faith conversation, you would tell someone, "Well, your mic is too loud. Lower it down."
You're posturing that you knew what happened in this conversation, which is not true. That's
being bad faith. I'm telling you that I thought he answered the question that you asked. That's what I told you.
Wait, can you at least agree with me that bad faith just means that you're, deceiving others?
Yeah, so how am I deceiving you by saying I thought he answered your question?
Yes, okay, yes. So yes, you are engaging in bad faith. You're deceiving others that you
knew
what happened.
How I'm deceiving you?
In fact, you didn't. That is the
wait. Elaborate how I'm deceiving you. Wait, how am I deceiving you by saying I thought he answered your question?
I think if you were to listen a bit more, you would understand what I said. I said,
you didn't explain it, by the way.
Correct you on this. I said you're deceiving others by posturing
wait.
that
so just to be clear,
what happened in this conversation.
Because I posited that I thought.
Okay,
so because I posited that I thought he answered it.
Posturing this conversation.
So wait, how is that posturing? Go ahead.
And you said that he answered when in fact he didn't answer it, and you didn't have any slightest clue the answer you provided, and then you just said, numerical content.
So how is that posturing? Go ahead.
Which is the thing that he didn't say. He said more than that. He said even more than that. And I was able to track this because I was here in the person debating. So I think you should probably trust me a bit more of how the debate went.
No.
And just posturing by saying, actually, when I don't know.
Yo, let's get back to this stuff, bro.
You're engaging in that manner. I don't know.
I wasn't engaging that manner. You're literally childish.
Sosa, come on, don't lie to me.
Let's get back to the debate.
Because I come on stage and I say I thought he answered your question. You think I'm trying to deceive you?
If you're not sure, 100% sure, then don't.
Wait. Are you 100% sure in anything?
You're not sure. And now you're crashing out, dude. Is all Tron's drones able to do just crash out? Is that it?
I don't even know who Tron is. Are you an idiot? Who's Tron?
Oh my god.
All right, bro. I'm about to kick this.
Calm down. You're eating your mic.
Man,
you're eating your mic. Jesus. They don't know how to debate. They just scream at their mic and call it a day.
Let's get back to the topic.
Yeah, well, look, I think I had really fun and enjoyed the debate. I think everyone kind of saw what happened. It's pretty much of a brutal beatdown. But yeah.
I don't even know what